Good morning, students. Welcome to the class again. Today I have come up with a Shakespearean sonnet which is prescribed in your course. As we have learnt earlier that a Shakespearean sonnet has a particular structure and a rhyme scheme. This sonnet also divides the 14 lines of a sonnet into 3 quatrains and a couplet at the end. That is 3 stanzas of 4 lines each and a 2-line couplet at the end. The sonnet also follows the typical Shakespearean rhyme scheme, that is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, GG. We will discuss it while analyzing the poem. For the first quatrain has the rhyme scheme AB, AB, that means the first 4 lines has the alternate beating AB, AB, and the second quatrain has a little variation where it beats at CD, CD, and the third quatrain EF, EF, and the last couplet, the final couplet, is rhymed together which sounds as GG. We will do it practically while doing the text. Well, if you look at the theme of the poem, like most of the traditional sonnets, this one is a love sonnet that talks about the healing power of love. So, thematically, it's a conventional English love sonnet. If you look at its content, the speaker of the sonnet is regretting all the losses and sorrows and disappointments of his life, and he complains about all the pains that are renewed whenever he recalls them again. But in the final 2 lines in the couplet, the speaker finds the remedy for all his pains and griefs when he says that all losses are restored and sorrows end when he thinks about his dear friend. So, there is a diversion of thought in the last 2 lines in the couplet where the poet resolves his despair and sadness. Though Shakespeare does not name this friend, but out of his 154 sonnets, most of the sonnets are dedicated to this friend, whom researchers have found to be Mr. W.H. Well, some of the Shakespearean sonnets are also written for the mysterious dark lady, whom again Shakespeare does not name. Now, let us look at the text of the poem. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new veil my dear times waste. So, what the speaker is saying, that whenever I am alone and I think about, I recall things past and I am lost in sweet silent thought, I summon up, I call up remembrance of things past. So, I remember the things which have gone, which have passed. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and I complain, I grieve at the lack of many a thing I sought, so many things that I wanted but I couldn't get. I sigh and I complain about those things, and with old woes new veil my dear times waste, and by remembering the old woes and old sorrows, and I weep, when I weep them again, my dear time is waste by bemoaning them and weeping over the lost things again and again. So, if you look at the first 4 lines, the first quatrain, we see the rhyme scheme. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought, the first beat will give it A, okay. Generally we give it A, and the last sound, the last beat of the second line is I summon up remembrance of things past. So, again it is different from thought, so it will be named as B, A, B. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought. So again it is similar to thought, so we will again name it A. And in the fourth line, and with old woes new veil my dear times waste. So again it will be given, it rhymes with the second line, so it will be given B. So the rhyme scheme of the first quatrain is A B A B. Then let's do the another quatrain. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night. Okay. So then whenever I am lost in the old losses and old sorrows, what do? I can drown an eye. I weep heavily, unused to flow. My eyes are generally unused to flow, but when I remember the things past, the sorrows of the past, I can drown an eye. I can weep heavily. For precious friends hid in death's deathless night. For whom I cry, I weep for the friends who are sleeping in the deathless night of death. Why do we call it deathless? Because death is inevitable, it is permanent. So, they are sleeping permanently in death's deathless night. And weep afresh love's long since cancelled woo. And I weep again, I renew afresh, I weep afresh, I weep again love's long since cancelled woo. Love's woos, love's wounds, which was cancelled for so long, but whenever I think about them again, I weep again afresh. I weep. My pain renews whenever I think about those things again, whenever I recall those things again, and mourn the expense of many a vanished sight. And again I mourn, again I weep, again I sob the expense of many a vanished sight. So many things that have vanished, that have got destroyed, and I cannot see them again. So again the poet is complaining, he is in despair, the speaker is in despair, and he is being nostalgic about all the losses and all the pains that he suffered, and he is complaining about those pains and those losses in the sonnet. Then in the third quatrain, what does he do? Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woo to woo tell over the sad account of fair bemoaned moan, which I knew pay as if paid before. So then what does the speaker do? Then can I grieve at grievances foregone. So again and again he grieves at all the sorrows that are gone, and heavily from woo to woo tell over. And when then my imagination travels from woo to woo, from one wound to another woo, from one sorrow to another sorrow, and the sad account of fore bemoaned moan, and the sad account of the sad story of the sad history of my old bemoaned moan. That means old pains that have already been mourned about, that have already been paid, and then I weep about them, then I complained about all the sorrows that have been bemoaned so many times, which I knew pay as if paid before. So whenever I recall those sorrows again, what do? I repay it, I newly paid. That means I grieve it again, I weep over them again as if paid before, as if it was not paid before. So in the first three quatrains, the speaker is very reminiscent, and he is commemorating all the lost things and all the sorrows. And what does he say? He says that whenever he is alone, whenever he is lost in silent thoughts, he is used to recall all the sorrows, all the loss, all the disappointments, and all the persons, all the beloved ones that were once in his life, and then he weep over them again. He weep over them. He pay his tribute by his tears again and again whenever he is lost in thought. Well, in the couplet, the mood of the speaker changes a bit and he resolves the issue. What does he say? What does he say? But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. But how do I compensate with my pains and with my agony over the things past? What do I do? But while I think on thee, but whenever I think about thee, dear friend, whenever the speaker thinks about his dear friend, his beloved friend, all losses are restored and all sorrows and all the losses are restored, all losses are paid, and all his sorrows, all his griefs ends. So, if we talk about the theme of the sonnet is about the healing power of love. Okay, love heals all the pains and all the wounds. If you have someone, a dear friend, if you have some dear friend, if you have someone very close to your heart, if you have someone who cares for you and who makes you forget all the pains and all the losses and all the sorrows of your life, life is worth living. So what does Shakespeare says here? He says that love is the ultimate remedy for all the pains of life. And so basically the poem is all about the saddening power of time and the gloom, the agony of life, but at the same time it also talks about the healing power of love, the compensation that is paid by love. Well, if we look at the symmetry of the poem, went to the sessions of sweet silent thought. Okay, we have talked about the rhyme scheme of the first quatrain, thought, past, sought, waste. So the rhyme scheme of the first quatrain is A B A B. Well, if you look at the rhyme scheme of the second quatrain, let's look at this. To flow, so it has a variation from the first quatrain, so we'll name it C. Flow. Night, so it is also different from flow. The beat is night, so it will be given D. Flow, woe, so again it is similar to the first line, so it will be given C. And sight, night and sight, so it will be given D. So the rhyme scheme of the second quatrain is C D C D. Let's talk about the third quatrain. Grievances foregone. To woo, tell, over. So foregone and over are different, so it will be given. Foregone is also different from sight, so it will be given E. Okay, gone. Over, F, it is different, and mourn. So gone and mourn are the same, so it will be given E E. Over and before are have the same beat, so it will be given F F. So foregone and mourn are E E, and over and before are F F. Okay, and the rhyme scheme of the couplet is friend and. Okay, and friend and is a different rhyme scheme. We cannot see, we haven't seen it in the last three quatrains, so it will be given G G. Okay, so the rhyme scheme of the whole sonnet is A B, thought, past, sought, waste, C D C D, E F G G.